I'm here! I'm here in Rio. I bet you weren't expecting a video so soon. Also, I like my shirt. After what felt like forever, the flight from Canada to Brazil is so fucking long that at one point I actually thought that maybe the plane crashed and I'm in purgatory. But yeah, after a long ass flight, I'm finally here in Rio de Janeiro, which is the gringo pronunciation. If you're from Brazil, you'd say Rio de Janeiro. The wonderful city, that's the tagline. Rio de Janeiro, the wonderful city. Cidade maravilhosa. I've never been to Rio de Janeiro. If memory serves me right, in the family mythology, let's say, I believe my mom was pregnant with me when her and my dad came to Rio in the 80s. Not sure if that counts. If that doesn't count, this is my very first time here in Rio. In fact, the place where I am, this used to be the grounds for Rock in Rio, if you can believe that. So, you might be wondering, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the other video, the reason I'm here, and I feel like I always travel with two passports, my Canadian passport and my Brazilian passport, because my Brazilian passport is expired. It's been expired for 2 years, but thanks to some kind of legal loophole with the Brazilian constitution or whatever, a Brazilian citizen cannot be denied entry into Brazil for any reason. So you don't actually need a Brazilian passport to travel to Brazil if you're Brazilian, because they can't say no to you. They have some kind of crazy Brazilian CIA computer. They punch in your shit and they know that you're actually Brazilian and they can't say no. That's great to know. Anyway, I'm here for Geek and Game Fest. There's a printout here for the show I would show you, but I'm wearing my underwear. And it's a game, it's the very first edition of this, what is to be Brazil's new premier gaming thing. I have a gaming podcast, as I mentioned in the previous video. It's called 99 Vidas, which means 99 lives. I guess I should have said 99 in Portuguese too. It's Brazil's #1 podcast, the #1 podcast in the Portuguese language. I'm very proud of this project. I started this with my pal Jurandir many years ago. We were soon joined by 2 other co-hosts, and now we're a well-oiled machine that argues on the internet about video games. So it's very exciting to be here. It's very exciting to have met these, because I met Jurandir. He's from my hometown in Brazil. I met him years ago. I think I actually met him before we started the podcast. And then I met Evandro, which is the other co-host. It's somebody that I actually have a side podcast, like a sister podcast with. But Bruno, the 4th host, I had never met him before after working together for so many years. And it was very exciting to meet, to get all 4 people together and talk. We were having dinner last night at the restaurant here at the hotel, and it was a great time finally connecting. But yeah, I'm super excited for this thing. It starts today. I'm gonna cosplay as my character in our video game, the 99 Vidas or 99 Lives or whatever you want to call it, our video game. It's the problem of having a Portuguese name. I actually wondered when we were in the stages of early development of the game if that was gonna hinder the adoption of the game by North American audiences. I guess we'll find out. But it's a great game. I know I'm biased, of course, because I want you to buy it. But it's a great game. It's honestly a great game. If you look up the reviews, if you look up the videos that people are making, people that are not associated with us, like North Americans that don't know us, that don't know the podcast, that don't understand the little inside jokes, they have no connection with us whatsoever, they are enjoying the game. So it's actually a pretty decent game. But yeah, I'm super excited. The event starts today. I'm going to the pool to swim a few laps before we head out for breakfast and then go to the actual event. We're gonna have a meet and greet. I've done meet and greets in Brazil before, and I don't have the opportunity to interact with my fans. I don't like saying fans because I feel like an asshole. With the people who enjoy my show, YouTube subscribers, podcast listeners, my readers from both my website and my book, I don't have the opportunity to interface with them very often. I don't come to Brazil very often. It's very expensive, and it's a long-ass flight. Did I mention the flight is long as fuck? But this is gonna be next level, I think, because I never met Rio fans. And it's not just me this time. There's this podcast that's bigger than myself. So the last time that it was just me, it was a long lineup of people to shake hands with and sign autographs and take pictures and all this thing. This time I think it actually might be bigger than the last time. But I'm very, very excited for this. It starts in a few hours, so I actually gotta head out. Oh yeah, let me show you real quick my little on-the-go studio. This is an iPad mini. This is what I use to edit my videos. It's the iPad mini 2. That's the one that came with the Retina display. This right here is a little Nintendo 10 with 1,000 SD cards. There's SD cards on the other cameras as well. This is the camera kit, Apple's camera kit. That's how I transfer the footage over to the iPad to edit. I got a little GorillaPod tripod, and while I have a bigger one at home, I never use it for its intended design. I use it more in like a Casey Neistat like selfie stick for the DSLR way. This thing is actually very useful when you're traveling and you don't have space to bring a huge tripod. It's hard to find, like I have a smaller tripod, a smaller conventional tripod, and when I'm traveling, it's very hard to find a good setup for the angle, because you put this on a table, you're always looking down on the camera. I'm not a huge fan of that, but with this, I can actually, like for instance, for that footage that you just saw, there's these little hooks right here, these metal prongs, and I just kind of hook that thing there, and it's right at eye level. So that is great. I have a gimbal for the GoPro. This is for getting like B-roll and things like that. A little pouch for the G7X, which is the camera that you see right now. I got a Microsoft foldable, move this over here, keyboard for updating my website and typing up like YouTube descriptions and things like that. It's easier than to touch on the screen. There's this little case for like the gimbal, some extra batteries, more batteries. And I got the GoPro here. That's what I use to make videos while I'm traveling. I know that this channel is primarily about commenting on whatever is going on the internet at that moment. It's very hard to stay up to date with the comings and goings of the internet when you're out and about like this on a trip. I don't know how Philip DeFranco does it. But yeah, so the videos that I put out here, if I put out more videos throughout the week, are going to be more vloggy type, like showing you what's going on in my world. But yeah, I got to go to swim a few laps. I didn't bring a bathing suit because I'm an idiot. I'm going to bathe in just like regular. Fun fact about Brazilian customs. The shorts that we have in North America are considered for poor people here in Brazil, and I'll tell you why. People here usually wear like, you know, the European style Speedos and like short, you know, just like, you know the kind of bathing suit I'm talking about, right? And then poor people that go to the beach and they don't have a whole lot of money, they can't afford superfluous things like bathing suits, like tiny little bathing suits they wear. So they just wear the shorts that they wear in their everyday life, like something like this. So because of that, this style of like swimming trunks, like that look like shorts that you would wear outside, is seen as something for poor people in Brazil. I bet you didn't know that. All right, I gotta head out. I'll see you guys later. Oh yeah, that right there, the bane of my fucking existence. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem.